With the FIL Studio show, it's all about getting behind the scenes content so you guys know what it takes to get athletes on the ice. So this is really cool. I've been wanting to talk about this for a while because it's a huge part of the sport for coaches and athletes. So this is our control center. This is our, I actually don't know what we would specifically call this, but this is what measures the sled. So each sled is allowed to have a certain measurements in length and width and with weight. And so this is what keeps the athletes honest. So when they come off the track, you'll see an athlete hit a button. They'll get a red light, green light, or a red and blue light. And if they get a red light or red and blue light, they are headed inside immediately and they are told to strip. Not actually down to be naked, but you do have to take off your spandex, you have to take off your weight. You have to get as close to just your body as possible because that's what they're trying to weigh. So you will, you have to weigh all of your equipment. So there's a room in here, I just looked at it. It's pretty much, there's just a scale in there, and that's where they will undress, put all of their equipment in a basket and weigh it. And then the sled comes here. So really quick, the sled sits on top of here, runners down, because they make a nice carpet for the runners because athletes work so hard on it. So they will sit the sled, and then one of the technical controls, actually stay right here because I'm gonna walk around to the other side. One of the technical control guys will bring this down and then he will push it to make sure that it fits all the measurements and length and width and everything that it needs to. If the sled touches these little guys, then the sled can be disqualified. Now here's the thing, is you don't ever show up to a race with a sled that's never been measured before. They will have technical control a few days before the race to make sure that you can come in and you can make sure that everything is legal, I guess you could say. So when you do get a red light, it's a bummer, because it's just annoying. You don't want to have to like go through this whole process, but you've already weighed your sled, you've already done the whole thing, so you know that it should be passing this. It's kind of rare to get a sled disqualified for this type of thing. It's more plausible for a sled to get disqualified with steel temps or for body weight. Like for instance, if you ate a breakfast that was a little too big that morning. So anyways, this is how we keep all the teams honest, all the coaches honest, so that no one's putting secret little rocket boosters in their sled to go faster, even though sometimes the Germans are so fast that we think that there might be some type of engine in there, but this is exactly what they do. So whenever you see athletes disappear into the finish building, this is how it goes. This is the full thing. Which part?
Reference the control room and then throw it.
Amazing. So the control room is a major part of the sport. Athletes don't want to find themselves in there. It's just a place you want to stay out of because sometimes you'll check your sled over and over, you check the weight, you make sure everything's good. But it was funny, I was talking to, I believe actually Zach DiGregorio, who's commentating. Their sled is like a hairline away from being too heavy. So you just always get a little nervous when you get a red light and you have to go weigh your sled. So just kind of funny and a whole part of the sport that you don't really think about. So I'm going to toss you over to our commentators, Tim Singer and Zach DiGregorio. They're going to lead us in to this second run. What are you guys thinking about it?
Very much, Kate. Yeah, we quite a lot about the first run as we lead into run number 2. Tim Singer right back here again with Zach DiGregorio, Team USA. And Zach, you've got the relay coming up in a moment. Before we escape, I want to talk a little bit about that. But first things first, run number 1 here in Altenburg. This isn't Max Langenhahn's home track, but he made it look like home cooking in a dominating fashion.
Yeah, it was a wild run from him. To be 2/10 ahead of second place is just crazy, especially in the tight field that we do have right behind him. So it'll be interesting what happens the second run. I think he'll be kind of untouchable up there, 2/10 ahead, but that second through fourth is going to mix around a lot.
Look at those splits, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 across the way. Even when people win races, I guess Johannes Ludwig was an exception, but that doesn't happen a lot.
No, it doesn't. And he was just building speed the entire way down. Each split getting further and further apart. It was really good to see.
It's 4 Austrians, actually 3 Austrians in the top 6, but it's Germany, of course, in the top 2 positions, Langenhahn and Locke. They were the last 2 to go. So let's sing some praises right now to Rolf Monday and the Icemeister here and what they've been able to do in very differing conditions all week.
Yeah, it's been very impressive to have a race like this now after a week of rain and snow to put on a good track. And yeah, you know, they're only 4 tenths from the track, or 3 tenths from the track record. It's really not too far, and to have that after those conditions is really, really impressive.
All right, Zach, you're off to Winterberg after this week. You're part of a 7-week run here in Europe. Are you looking forward to next year when it's 7 weeks in a row in North America?
I wish we could get 7 weeks in a row. You know, it doesn't happen, but
my point is, how tough is that?
Yeah, it gets really challenging. Just being away from your family, your friends, even just the simple things like, you know, having your internet work on your phone and stuff like that. It's just draining being in Europe for so long, but it's part of the sport, and yeah, we're happy to be racing, so we keep coming back.
After men's singles, this weekend will conclude with the team relay competition, and you've been part of what's been somewhat a regular theme for the USA. Not that they love it, but the fact that the relay has on many occasions redeemed a medalist podium-less weekend. Can it happen again today?
I think we have a chance. You know, Tucker threw down this first run, and hopefully he can put down another second run. And having him in Summer next to us is always really good. Tucker has the fastest reaction start in the world for luge, so
every race is amazing.
And it's not even close normally. Like, he's 300-400 hundredths ahead of the rest of the field, so it's a huge help with that. And Summer was sliding really solid yesterday, so hopefully she can put down a good run. But it's always a tricky one here in Oldenburg. Curve 9 from double start is not an easy one, especially on a single sled when you don't have as much weight. So we'll see what happens. Anything can. So hopefully we can come away with a medal.
All right. We will formally wish you good luck at the end of run number 2. But, of course, Zach still has some work to do. It's the second run for the men's singles coming up from Altenburg in just a few minutes. Before that, we send it right back to our host, Kate.
Thank you so much, Tim and Zach. I hope you're having fun in that nice, cozy, warm room that you're in. But yeah, a lot of exciting racing coming up. We're just a few minutes away from the world's feed. So just to recap, they just talked about it. Max Langenhahn in the lead, and truly his lead is so much, 0.2 of a second. He had an incredible week last week with World Champs. He had his whole family there, his fan club. I asked him last week in Oberhof, I was like, because the crowd was insane in Oberhof, and I was like, who's here for you? And he's like, oh, my ski club and my football club. And I was like, how do you have time to do football and ski and slide and be a champion? And I don't know how he does it. So anyways, athletes are up at the top. They're re-warming up. They had to take their suit off. They put their warm-up clothes back on, and so they're getting ready. The coaches were working on sleds. They're re-sanding the steels, repacing them, and getting them all ready. And it's going to look like just how we were at the beginning of the run. Everyone's fanning. They're trying to get the steel temps correct. And then fans are packing into the finish area here. It's been cool to watch. They're kind of walking all around. There was a band here yesterday. I don't know if the band is here today, but there's stands. They have bratwurst, French fries. Everyone's just having a good time here at the track, and hopefully this is going to be a fun atmosphere and just a rager at the end of the race, because yesterday was a lot of fun for the women's and doubles race. So anyways, everybody, I want you to switch over to the world's feed. We've got one more run with the men's race, and then we're going to head you into the relay race, which is just always fun, and everyone loves to watch it. So grab a coffee, grab a snack. We're just a few minutes away, so everyone switch over, and we'll see you on the other side. That's your FIL Studio in between run show. See ya.